Ladies and gentlemen,
the Delta Podcast. The Delta Podcast. Delta Podcast.
Good morning, Botswana. We are here at Career Dreams, and welcome to the Delta Podcast. Delta Podcast.
The sound of perfection.
Mr. Kenny Karanja. Career Dreams, because kola penki ya itse re batla go itse ka yone. Career Dreams se motswana kola penki sekolo se se rutang bana. Ke tsa gore ta re tlhalosetse ke sekolo se se rutang bana ka dilo tse dintsi tsa tourism. So ka re le mo Maun la tsa tourism. O tla re tlatla ka yone ke tsa gore na ke itse le nna me ya to learn about it. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and how are you?
How are you, Kenny?
Very fine, thank you.
My pleasure. It's our pleasure to be here, sir.
Thank you.
Era.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. You are welcome. Welcome to the Delta Podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, how have you been?
100%.
Okay.
I'm pushing.
Yes, sir.
We are pushing, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a nice school, sir.
Thank you.
It's my. I think I've been here for a couple of times. Yeah, I've seen progress, and I'm loving it.
Thank you.
So tell us more about it.
More about the story of Career Dreams is a very long story. You can sit here the whole day.
Yes,
but probably just to put it in brief and to summarize the whole story, it's Career Dreams is a hospitality and tourism training school.
Okay.
That was established in 2006.
Okay.
So we are almost nearing 20 years of in operation. And I'm very, very proud to say that we have trained well over 20,000 graduates who are making an impact in the industry today.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a massive change.
Yes. And so the school was started in 2006. And it was started, or the dream was born out of realizing that there was a gap.
Yes.
And the gap really was a lot of people growing in this region of the Okavango do not understand tourism.
Yes.
If you closely look at what is happening within the lodges, some of the most beautiful lodges and expensive lodges in the world are here in the Okavango region.
Yes.
But when you look at what is happening in the community, it doesn't translate. The people don't have the knowledge of what is happening within their region. And so I saw that gap, and I saw that we could give people skills and start sensitizing and educating them on tourism and giving them skills that can enable them to join to join the hospitality tourism industry.
Yes.
And like I said, I'm proud to say that we have done quite a big chunk of that.
Yes.
Quite a good number of
Those
people working in there. Yes. Quite a good number of people working there in those lodges today. They are past Career Dreams.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You know, it's an interesting story which I think from here we'll follow it up and have a conversation with those guys and see how they feel and see how they've been living, and it's quite interesting what you guys are doing here. And I want to. What kind of courses do you have?
Okay, most of the courses that we have here are tourism based.
Yes.
So we have the culinary diploma in culinary skills or culinary art. Really this one talks about chefs.
Yes.
Or people who work in the kitchen or catering. It's broad because it also covers business.
Yes.
If you want to start your own business.
Okay.
If you want to start your own business in restaurant, in kitchen, in guest houses, in lodges, that is a course that can give you the knowledge to be able to do that.
Wow.
We also have hospitality management. We have food and beverage, the one that trains the waiters.
Yeah.
We also have the housekeeping,
Yes.
the one that trains people who
To make up the bed.
making beds and
yes.
making rooms for. And by the way, when I talk about, for instance, when I talk about people who make beds and people who wait on the tables in the restaurant, people who think, well, that is not a job.
Yes.
These are professions that are as well paying as any job out there in the world.
True.
And so one of the aims of Career Dreams is to be able to sensitize people and tell them these jobs are as good as any other job that you should get working in an office or in any other industry. And so people should not downplay and downlook on those
That's true.
jobs.
I heard there's jobs that are paying a lot of
Actually, they're very. For instance, let me ask you: an executive chef, do you know how much they're paid?
Nope.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
An executive chef, in many cases, you find that their starting salary is up to 100,000
Wow.
per month.
Per month. That's a
And
lot.
on top of that, you can be able to work
Anywhere
any part
in the world. Wow. Wow.
So
wow,
you see,
wow.
it's an opening that people have completely ignored, but could change people's lives.
That's true. That's very
And
true.
all that you need is a skill. If you can get a culinary skill that can enable you to get into the industry, then you're in. You're already in the industry and making a change in people's lives.
Wow. So how do after school do your students have right channels to go to, or do you look for jobs for them? Or?
Yes. So because what we are doing here is practical skills mainly. After we train, we are very sure that this person can be able to be employed.
Yes.
And so we are
Perfection.
confidently calling companies and saying we have this particular person or this group of people that we believe can be able to make a change in the organization. And companies are always calling up here to look for looking for people that are ready for employment.
Wow.
And so it's the uptake is quite good. We do not have many of our students sitting at home. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're from Career Dreams,
Yes.
and you're not doing anything, it is not our fault. It's your fault.
Your fault.
There's a lot you can do.
Yes.
If nobody's willing to hire you, you can hire yourself. Come, we'll tell you how.
Yes.
So yeah,
So stand up.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
We help them to find jobs. We help them to find attachments.
Yes.
And like I'm saying, we need to now have a program where we can be able to follow these people where they are, and we give them an opportunity to tell the story
Yes.
of where they started and where they are.
Where they are now.
What kind of an impact have they made in the industry, in their families, in the country?
Yeah, that's very important. That's very important. Wow, this is so interesting. You know, how do the community benefit, or how do you want to Botswana kola peng hore you should stand up and do something?
Thank you.
Do you motivate?
Very, very important, that question. When you look at the education system,
Yes.
tourism is not given much emphasis. And everybody, when we go to school, we are all pushed into the academic line of education.
True.
Tourism and hospitality is about practical skills. And so today, as I speak to you, there are a lot of young people sitting at home because they did not get points to advance.
To do whether math or
And
other
to them, they
things.
think life has come, my career life has come to an end. This is why we have Career Dreams.
Yes.
Is to resuscitate the dream that you have been told that you cannot pursue because you are not good with your academics.
Yes.
If you come to Career Dreams, we'll make that dream happen for you. You become a professional.
Wow. I like that. So stand up and come to Career Dreams, get a course, get something to get tiro ya diata. E leng gore hella lo ena o tsena mo tirong tsa di kampa ba gae. So emang ko malapeng le skala nna malentsa ba tse batho ba banana ke nako a gore le me ka dinao le itirele le bate ditiro. Come to Career Dreams to give you a spot for you to fit in.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bangutule.
Sure. So obviously, you know, in this kind of setup, you know, that those challenges that you guys come across, what mainly are those challenges? Do you have enough students for for your capacity? Are you able to handle enough students? And where do your students mostly come from? Are they only from this side, or they come all around from Botswana?
Okay. Yeah, the challenges are many. But what makes life interesting and fun is challenges.
True.
So we yes, we have challenges, but we look at those challenges as opportunities for growth.
Yes. Like that.
Some of the challenges that I can mention is accommodation. If people want to come and do study or do a course with us here, we have accommodation within the campus.
Okay.
But we are only able to accommodate about 40 students.
Okay.
Our capacity is about 150 students. So, which means there's a huge number of those students that are being accommodated elsewhere. Now you find that there is not really enough accommodation or good accommodation for students in this region.
Yes.
In this
really
town.
Caters for students.
That caters for students.
Yes.
There is no specific student housing in Maun, basically. So that is one of the biggest challenges that we have encountered. The other one is the parents who are willing to bring their kids here, and they come and maybe they pay the first installment, and then from there they are not able to complete the payment for whatever reason, and you find that kid has to
pull out.
It really doesn't go well with me, because I feel that is not why I started, but it's a business. At the end of the day, I also need to pay workers, and we need to buy the materials for these people to be able to
just to run.
To be able to complete. So it is one of the challenges that we are looking for a solution on. How can we be able, maybe by getting donors who can come on board and support those people who want to do courses, but they don't have money, they can't afford. Or government to be able to subsidize some of this training in a way.
True. You know, it's sorry. It pains me, you know, for the parents out there that I know, you know, they will bring their kids here. You know, spending their last money for them to get somewhere, you know, for them to sit at home. You know, sometimes I know someone who's to school here. Who qualified to be a chef. Right now, that person, she's overseas.
Wow.
And her story is her parents gave her the last money and said, if this is us, we are done here. If you don't make it, so you might as well bury us while we are still alive.
Listen to that.
Yeah, we might as well
touching.
bury us, you know. And that young kid, what she did, she you know, she stood up.
She gave her all.
Yes. And right now she's overseas, from career dreams to overseas. So you see, and I like what you guys are doing here. The impact that you are impacting to the society and the community at large. One thing I want us to talk about is those I've heard. I don't know if that's true, that you accommodate those guys from the trusts.
Yes.
You teach them as well.
Yes. You see, because the setup here is such that we have to work with the communities, because these communities live within the wildlife management areas.
Wow. Yes.
Where tourism is really happening. And you find that most of the, especially young people coming from those areas, they still don't understand the impact of tourism in their areas. So we see that as a very, very good entry for us to be able to make an impact. Because if those communities out there can have most of their kids owning lodges or working in those lodges, it will say a lot about Botswana. But as long as people are leaving those areas and going to work in cities, and then we leave foreigners and other people to come in and do businesses that we have got no stake in, then the people will still continue reaping the country and benefiting. And the people who are the owners of the country are not benefiting much.
I wanted to ask this one. How do you get to people out there in the rural areas in the Delta? Because I once watched a clip. There was that confusion of, you know, there are kids in the bush, they don't get jobs from this Delta, from the lodges, because they hire people from far places and all that. I think if you can have access to these villages as career dreams, maybe you can open doors for some of them, because it's a conflict. I understand. Some of these lodges, they hire professionals. They want to hire people who know, who qualified, who know what they're doing. Like we're talking about housekeeping.
Yes.
Housekeeping it's you need to know what you are doing.
Exactly.
It's not that you are folding sheets and
yes.
It's not that you are folding sheets and blankets and all that. There's a skill that you need to acquire for that. It's a job that is done mostly by women.
Yes.
So I think if these people, they get this training in the rural areas, they will have access to go and work in these lodges which are closer to them, and then maybe that can fix the conflict that is
absolutely.
Yes.
And also, even the companies, we can talk about these people, the owners of these lodges.
Yes,
they must stop hiring people who are not skilled and trained.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what happens. It's all about cheap labor. Because you want to get someone who doesn't know what they're doing, and then you pay them less. And then you find that those professions, they remain underpaid forever and ever and ever. But if we can make these positions professional,
yes,
and we upskill them, then you know that the person that you're hiring is someone who's going to bring value into your organization.
Yes.
And then you need to compensate them properly. So at the end of the day, it works for the organization, for the company, and it works for the individual.
Yeah, that's true.
So training, to me, and giving people these skills is the most important fundamental point that we cannot ignore if we want to grow the tourism industry in Botswana.
Wow. I'll take that as a message. You are Botswana go high, so come to Career Dreams. So stand up, manana.
The Delta Podcast. Delta